And welcome! It is the Red Leaf Retrocast Anime Edition. We got an amazing episode for you guys today. It is the retroAnime podcast. We're doing Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I guess it's technically pre-Studio Ghibli. And this has been an anime a long time coming, guys. Welcome to another amazing episode. It's episode 117. Whew, okay. Tori, Hickey, how you doing?
I'm doing.
You're doing?
Yeah.
No embarrassing childhood things come to light with you guys recently, like myself?
Nope.
No. Not that I can think of.
Sounds like a good success on your part. In my life, so some things have come to light, like certain phrases I found out I only realized it was just between me and my dorky friends would say. So, laugh at myself moment there, but over the last couple weeks, it's taken about 8 weeks for me to finally get this down, but I'm bowling well again, guys, and I'm making some money. Hooray for me!
Woo!
Yay! Congratulations.
Yeah,
Remember to not bust your fucking wrists again.
No. I've completely revamped my style and angular projection across the lane, getting the corner pins out again, knocking them down. I'm knocking them dead. I'm moving up the table again, which is nice to see. I've really fixed a lot of mechanical issues that I've really. Look, I was out of bowling for what was it, like a year and a half because of COVID. So, out of practice basically, and just kind of going twice a week, and still mostly trying to stay isolated for the most part. Bad habits came through, and got to work on those things mechanically and without a lot of practice. So it took a lot longer than it should have. But I'm back, very happy. That's the bowling update for you. I know, riveting podcast content there.
Everyone watches anime podcast to hear about JD's bowling.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you've been been listening to me for the past 5 years at this point.
You come to this anime podcast for bowling updates, wrestling, video games, and just general bullshit. We might occasionally
Sometimes football.
Yeah, we might occasionally
actually a lot of football.
A lot of football. We might occasionally talk about anime, but that's like at the end. Kind of just thrown in there.
30 minutes later, this famous Studio Ghibli origin movie that got like rave review. Yesterday's news.
Never heard of her.
Much more important to talk about all these splits that I'm leaving and trying to pick them up in bowling. That's way more important. Although, little Patreon plug, selfish Patreon plug here. I did go to a wrestling show over New Year's and got into a big conversation with a wrestler, and he is an avid bowler, and he's quite good at it. And we were talking about the balls and techniques we use, and some of the issues of him being a pro wrestler on the road and bowling. So that's over on the Patreon in those New Year's Restival episodes. Go check that out. You can hear all the inside scoops on a certain wrestler's bowling skills. How about that? You into that, Tori?
Yeah, totally.
I guarantee you will not hear that kind of content on any other podcast.
I believe it. I believe that.
Most likely.
And that's when you're wrong. Turns out there's actually a podcast dedicated to this shit.
Just wrestlers bowling and their opinions over it. I want to listen to that podcast. If you got that out there and you're listening to us, definitely hit me up on Twitter at BowlingJD. See, look at that. Getting all the plugs in today. How about that? Well, we're on plugs. Tori, haven't plugged you in a while. Let's plug you up.
It's also been pretty dead over there, so I don't know. I'll plug myself again once I actually get something out.
Well, you have a lot of past videos that are really
myself.
could at least at least plug in. I like your content. Anime Top Scholar.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's been pretty dead. Like, I put out 7 videos all last year, which just isn't good enough. So, I'm hoping to do better this year, though. January is almost over, and I still haven't put out a video. So, but I have a script finished at least, so I'm getting there.
Oh, just totally random thought. I don't know why you saying your YouTube is dead lately, but you know how PlayStation every year does the kind of hours you played, most game you played, hours online, that kind of thing.
Literally everyone does that.
So, didn't realize this. I did play enough games last year, but it was not on the PlayStation 4. It was on the Nintendo Switch. So I was like, why am I not getting my annual PlayStation update? I didn't play enough hours on my PS4 and realized the last game I played was Fire Pro Wrestling World. So in 2021, I played exactly one game on my PS4 for like 5 hours. So it's not enough time. I was just all Nintendo and retro games last year. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't remember the last time I booted up my PS4 actually. As a matter of fact, I tried to because I was testing my TV because we have switched like television providers and whatnot. So I need to test some things because it didn't really work. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, let me boot up my PS4. And well, I mean, it didn't start, so that's that's fun. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with it, but that basically says everything I need to know about that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I found odd was like, man, what do you mean I didn't have enough? I played like Dead Space 1 on my PS3, and then it occurred to me this morning, oh, my PS3 is not hooked up to the internet, and I'm not logged in on the network, so of course it's not going to know that I played like it's not going to connect that online, like certain aspects. Yeah. Because I only have my PS4 kind of signed into the network, and it was a Nintendo year. PlayStation. I have the money. I just want to buy a PS5, guys. I really want to play some of those games. I'm so sad.
I'm just here with my PC, being like, all right, cool.
And what makes me even more sad is everybody in our Discord, Retrocast Discord. Hit me up if you want to join. Everyone else in there has a PS5. It's just me now. I can't get one. I'm so sad. This is the real life problems I go through.
Yes.
It's okay, JD.
Right, fucking dodging bullets left and right. And JD's like, man, I cannot get a overpriced piece of plastic. God damn it.
Oh, you did. Listen, man, all you got to do is join one of those like millions of competitions that are going on right now that says like, oh, join this and you can win a PS5. Maybe you'll get lucky if you join all of them.
I mean,
yeah.
It's just simple like retweets, follow them and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I have won stuff doing that before. Quite a few things. But not a PS5 yet. It's almost like those things are fake.
I went to recycle my fucking plastic bottles this week. Exciting stuff, I know. And because I was too lazy to take out the money, I just decided because we have one of those lottery things, ticket things, so I just fucking sent that in. I was like, whatever. And I won. The fucking slap in the face as usual. I won less than I would have gotten if I would have just taken the money out normally.
Oh, that's really funny.
It's like, all right, fucking great. It's like, you're a winner. And I'm like, wait, really? It's like, hey, you won 50 kroner. And I'm like, that's less than, fuck off.
That's great. I love that. That's a good like comedy skit in a sitcom. Where it's a whole episode of these people just egging someone on to go recycle, get the money, and then he just goes, oh, all right. And at the end of the episode, that's the whole payoff is he actually lost money.
I won, but I lost money on winning. What the fuck?
That's too good. Great story. All right, anime. Let's talk about it. I have been watching so I randomly watched an entire season of the 7 Deadly Sins, specifically season 3.
Why?
Have you watched the other ones, or did you do the JD thing? It's like, I don't need the previous series.
Okay, fair question.
I'm just gonna start from fucking season 5. Oh, shit, I'll figure it out.
From season 5, episode 3. Let's go.
All right. Sounds crazy.
I mean, if you're starting from season 5, it doesn't fucking matter.
It's a fair question. I have seen the first 2 seasons. I have seen them. Been a while, to be fair, but I just jumped into season 3. A lot of things came back pretty quick. Not bad. It's not the greatest shonen I've ever seen. The characters are a bit goofy, outlandish. There's some things that I really...
No way.
there's things in the show that I really questioned over certain motivations. Whatever. It's goofy fun. It's like a 7 out of 10 type series. I do like
season 3 where the shows really started to go to shit.
It doesn't feel that way. I think so. You know what? I won't get into 7 Deadly Sins, but what I want to get into is something more recent, which is on Netflix. There's the first half of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean.
Yep,
the latest JoJo. That is super interesting and good. Where it's the girl JoJo that a lot of JoJo fans.
Yes, the girl JoJo. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of JoJo fans are obsessed with.
Jolene Cujo. Come on, JD.
Yeah, Jolene Cujo. And she is a really interesting character. I love the new powers that they introduce and the fact that she's in prison and in this confined environment, and there's other prisoners. There's certain aspects of prisoners like trying to kill her, and there's assassination attempts, and that I've seen half of it so far. Really engaging stuff there. Animation, character art, all great. Just as in past JoJo's, fantastic. If you're a fan of JoJo, I absolutely understand why this gets positively talked about at such a high level. I totally see it. I agree.
Nice. I watched the first 2 episodes. It's fun. I don't really want to watch too much because I don't want to get to like episode 6 and then have to wait. So I'm taking my time with it. But yeah, no, it's fun. It is definitely fun. Interesting.
Well, it's funny you bring up episode 6. Funny. That's kind of where I stopped because that's like the whole intro arc to it. Yeah. And I decided to stop there before they really start getting the series going, and I'm gonna wait until the rest of it kind of comes out on Netflix or however they're gonna release them, and I'm gonna just binge watch it from there. So that's actually kind of a good introduction part, and then you can kind of stop right there.
I just wish they would release it weekly. It would have made it so much easier.
Yeah, but it's Netflix.
It is Netflix.
I know the ending. The most exciting thing about part 6 is because that means we're close to part 7, which is the best part.
What's part 7?
Still Ball Run.
And is that like Jolene's kid or something, much like the other JoJo's?
No, I cannot say.
Spoiler.
Oh, okay.
It's heavy, extremely heavy spoiler. So
okay, fair enough.
I cannot say. It is as wacky as you can imagine.
Yeah, it's JoJo. I expect wacky.
No, you don't.
I want wacky.
They turned the dial to like overload on part 7.
Okay. No, I'm intrigued.
Well, it starts at the ending of part 6. So hopefully they won't do the thing of let's just wait 3 years until there's part 7 because it's kind of
definitely do that.
Yeah, because it's kind of a continuous from part 6 to part 7. So it would suck to just way too much between parts. They're gonna be fun. I'll wait everything to come out and then I'll watch.
I'm still sitting on the fucking train. It's like, it'd be so funny since everybody's so hyped for part 7. It'd be so funny if they only adapt up through part 6 and then stop.
That would be so sad. It's like, part 8 is still coming out, so we're just gonna wait. So if there's a part 9, okay, fuck. Shit.
Don't do this to me.
I waited 30 years, even though I'm not 30 yet. But goddamn, I've been waiting so long for part 7.
And then the last the last series I caught up on, you remember in the last podcast, a little update here, is I questioned whether I should go ahead and watch Attack on Titan, finish it. Because I really did not like the last season. Animation and action aside, I think we all agree with, at least on this podcast, that the series and story has just absolutely plummeted.
I don't like the twists. It's just...
No, I don't like them either. But I ended up watching Demon Slayer Mugen Train, the TV, not the movie. And then I fully caught up to date with the Entertainment District arc of Demon Slayer. So I'm like totally fully caught up on the animated series. I know what you mean, Tori, now about how the Mugen Train arc is kind of slow at the beginning and then the final boss at the end is really cool.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from with that. The slow buildup, I think maybe the TV... You haven't seen the TV series, have you?
No, I haven't. I only watched the movie.
I think the way... This is my interpretation, because I didn't watch the movie, so maybe we can combine our thoughts and interpretation here. That the way a television series is structured makes for a better pace and understanding of what they're trying to get through to the viewer in some of these more down-to-earth moments, building up certain characters for this whole train arc. And it culminated, I think maybe you agree, is the TV show, because of all that, was able to culminate even the final boss of that arc way more effectively and get you to actually feel for the characters more effectively because there was just simply more time for it as opposed to what the movie was able to do.
Maybe. I mean, obviously I haven't seen the TV series. I don't necessarily agree with you on that.
Okay.
Because while I do agree that, like, obviously, yes, the TV series has more time, my main problem with the movie and with the whole like train arc and the first villain that you appear is realistically just the fact that, like, I don't know how they handled him in the TV series, but in the movie he simply doesn't do anything until the fight at the end, right? He's just he's manipulating people, but like you don't even know about him. Like, you know a little bit about him, but like you get nothing on him. He's just kind of like, and then suddenly at the end everything is happening. He's morphing with the train. He's doing all sorts of crazy shit. And it doesn't feel rewarding at all because it's like, motherfucker's just been sitting at the front of the train all fucking movie waiting. While we have been fucking reliving Tanjiro's past almost, like fucking getting into his dream where he's hanging out with his family again. Like, it's like sure, like that could be interesting, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not even just a pace thing. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they're not focusing on the right things. They're spending valuable time, in my opinion, at least, on things that doesn't make for that interesting watching in the long run.
It's constantly retreading the same thing over and over again. Pretty
much, right?
Yeah.
But that's why it's so cool when the fucking final dude just shows up and he just starts fucking shit up and a real fight start breaking out. It's like, the good thing about that is that it pulls you out. It pulls you right back in because just, oh shit, things are about to fucking go down.
Yeah, and there's a major...
The fucking Fire Hashira can fucking only just keep up with this dude, and you're like, fine. You're just saying, it's like, Jesus Christ, these guys are strong.
Yeah, it's a huge gap in strength, and really shows you the character's main struggle, and Tanjiro fully admits to that, and he's frustrated, and it really gets you to get down with the goal. With the character. I agree. Yeah, I agree with all that.
Yeah, because that's how you establish power, like the fucking power difference, right? Because we all know that none of the fucking Tanjiro and his crew can barely keep up with the Fire Hashira, and you have the Fire Hashira who can fucking only just duke it out with this dude, and it costs him basically everything. So it's like, it's just. Yeah, it's like that's how you establish fucking power imbalance. Where most anime would literally just be like, he has 200 on the power scale. It's like, okay, cool.
Oh my god,
fucking amazing.
It's funny you bring that up. My main complaint with fucking seven deadly sins is exactly that they've introduced they introduced a literal Dragon Ball Z scouter.
I know, but like it's a shonen trope. I understand that, but it's like it doesn't tell me anything. It's like this guy has 500 power, while this guy has 900 power. I understand that 900 is higher than 500, but when the fucking dude with 500 power defeats the dude with 900 power, like it should be the easiest thing in the world. What the fuck does this scouter tell me about anything?
Right? Yeah. No, that's one of my major issues with the Seven Deadly Sins show compared to Demon Slayer is this prospect of power differential and the aspect that only one singular character can actually fight. So to me, it made much of the other supporting cast and their fights kind of a moot point. I'm sure maybe in time we'll get to a point where all of them start leveling up themselves, but at this point in time, I don't think the series did a good job in establishing that and character motivation. While Demon Slayer, I thought the Mugen Train arc really helped grab me into Tanjiro and the group's goal in getting stronger themselves and how they're going to go about doing that. Now, when I started the entertainment arc, I was not into how that. My first impressions of that arc were not great. We're going to go to the red light district, cross dress, haha, funny. Seemingly, anytime any of these characters open their mouths, which is my main complaint in the show, I was annoyed. And I'm just on my phone going, I'm checked out. I'll just wait until the cool fight scenes, because the animation, the colors, the character art, every other aspect of the show is really good to me, except the
dialogue.
Yeah, the dialogue,
the voice acting.
yeah. I almost feel like I might be better off muting it until a fight scene starts.
Yeah, I didn't start that one yet just because I thought about it. And then I went to walk on him and I loaded up the first episode and I just, like, it was late and I just see 40 minutes and I'm like, nope, not doing it. Not now.
Not now. Not ready. But again, when it came time to start fighting and Tanjiro had to put his money where his mouth is, he delivered and introduced a new aspect of his power that hadn't been unlocked before, and it's really now mostly clear to the viewer, like, what he's basically the last Airbender. Like that's what we're talking about here. With there's a reference for you. You know, he's the chosen one kind of deal. Well, you know, it's fine, and how his sister comes into play, and yeah, it's really cool. Speaking of Demon Slayer, did you guys see the latest Crunchyroll Awards, like nominations and all that from last year?
Are you talking about you're not talking about the Attack on Titan thing, right?
No, I was just talking about like categories and what was nominated for them. And
yeah, no, I don't care about that. Like, I looked at it and I was like, at first I was like, maybe I should vote. And then I'm like, a voice in the back of my head goes like, you didn't fucking watch anything. And I'm like, yeah, fair.
Well, even from the stuff I watched last year and my just knowledge in what was popular made me realize, as I was kind of just running through my votes, it was just a shonen year. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
It was just the Dr. Stone. It was Dr. Stone. It was Mugen Train the TV. It was Odd Taxi got a lot of love, that's for sure. I did enjoy what I saw. It was good. It was one of the more interesting ones, but all the other categories, I was like, man, like even top characters, I was like, yeah, I guess Demon Slayer, maybe Attack on Titan.
Could be great for you though. You love shonen.
I know. I had no problem voting for that stuff, but usually there's always a few anime last year that really kind of come out of nowhere and they're not shonen.
I know, and that's the sort of stuff that I like, but it's like, I mean, as we've seen with basically every Crunchyroll Award that's gone so far, of course the shonen stuff is going to win.
I understand.
Popular, it fits the demographic exactly. It's like, it's pretty, like, basically, if you could have an amazing show come up against just like I'm not going to say bog standard shonen, but like basically like a hype-ass shonen with all the usual tropes. That was probably going to win because that's going to fit the majority more. It's what they like. It's the age group. It's what they're interested in.
No, I understand that, but my point I'm referencing is when we were talking about some of these shows last year, like Wonder Egg Priority is a great example. Something that initially had some buzz and then just fucking laid an egg at the end, quite literally.
Yeah,
and it was bad at the end, and we just didn't have, my opinion, of course, but we just didn't have that anime last year that was able to kind of capitalize the fandom to its extent. And it's like the closest we got was Odd Taxi and Wonder Egg Priority, and when that's kind of the bar, I think anime last year was kind of disappointing outside of a few of the shonens.
I guess, like I said, I didn't watch much. I do, in general, just think that, like, I think what last year showed at least looking in more than anything, is that the whole like season by season thing is getting stronger and stronger, right? And what I mean by that is just like you have every single season, there's at least one, maybe 2 or 3 shows that everyone talks about. They love it. It's great. And then the season ends and nobody gives a shit anymore. It's like they don't care. It's done. It's over. This is in the past now. Forget about it. It's the next season now. It's the new hype shit. Right now we have this other show that is way better than anything we had last year. And it's just like, I look at that and I look at people having these conversations and I'm just like, this is just so exhausting. This is so exhausting to look at.
The fucking Power Cribble, Shonen Power Cribble, and anime seasonal.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I remember like being part of this. I didn't recall it being this extreme, but like I remember being part of this exact same thing. But like at this point, I can't be bothered. Like, I can't get excited for most things. Like even big hype sequels, like again, Attack on Titan is hype, but while I'm not liking where it's going as much. Like I'm still interested, and I am planning on watching it. Right, but it's like, I didn't watch the first part of the finale because like I don't feel like watching it. Like, and that's the sort of point I'm at now, where it's like I don't watch stuff just because it's coming out. I don't watch stuff because it's ongoing right now. It's like I don't really care. What am I going to do? Talk to people about it? It's not even even on my dead YouTube channel. That's not even what I do. I don't tend to talk about the new shows. I do it sometimes, generally if something annoys me. But like, it's just I don't tend to talk about those things. Primarily because it's not what I'm interested in, and secondarily because when I have, nobody gives a shit, and you know that's fine. Nobody gives a shit about my opinion of modern shows, anyways. That's not what I'm here for. But like, it's just kind of one of those things. Like, it's just in general, in all kinds, in all forms, whether it be for my own personal entertainment or even for fucking YouTube content, it's literally just not worth my time.
So here, I'm just gonna name some of the shows that had buzz, but as you say, kind of immediately was forgotten about, because at least in terms of the Crunchyroll Awards, Crunchyroll. Oh my god, what a day! Like even in certain categories, they just weren't nominated for, and you would think that they would get a lot more hype. ReZero Part 2, Season 2, nothing. Wonder Egg Priority got love, and I'm just kind of going through the seasons over what I saw. 86, not very good. Even the sequel, very disappointing ending there. Tokyo Revengers got a lot of pop and circumstance to it. That's probably one of the bigger ones of the year. Summer was Sunny Boy, something that was very strange, unique, but never really capitalized on what it was meant to do. Like, we're all just confused at the end of it. So that's a miss. Slime Season 2, while popular, I don't think it was more popular than like ReZero Part 2 Season 2. Not that's not the vibe I got. And then, do you guys remember fucking Platinum End? I don't recall. How popular is that right now? What's your feeling on that?
I watched one episode of Platinum End that I've never.
I mean, it's definitely not getting good reviews.
Like, yeah, the only thing I remember is like, oh my god, so the same guy who did, and then 2 months later, is like, you know what, this kind of show is kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then like a few months after, it's like, yeah, no, this show is shit. Not the fun shit, just shit.
I said,
the funny thing about Platinum End is people trying to save the show for some reason. They say the show is good, however, it has the wrong protagonist, the wrong story, the wrong something. Well, the show is wrong then. Like, no. The show is fine, but there's like this one aspect that is wrong and doesn't fit the show. It's like, yeah, like 75% of the show was like, so the show is shit. Mm-hmm. And some are just, the show is shit. I don't know why people hype this up.
Because they have to protect their stuff. But like, I don't know. I watched the first episode. The only thing I got out of that first episode was like, all right, let's see. We're doing Future Diary. Cool. We're doing that again. We're doing that again. Totally not by the same author this time, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doom and gloom on it, but I like, again, I thought Shonen had a good year last year. My Hero Academia, I was into. I really liked the Stone Wars from Dr. Stone. I just spoke pretty highly over Mugen Train, the TV from Demon Slayer. So there was some good stuff out there, just not in the aspect of kind of shows that really go outside that genre, which is I think is unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like, I'm looking at the nominees. I feel like there's a lot of kind of just weird, like even genre, like categories that I normally don't care for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking here and I'm looking like, one thing that I think is cool, right? For example, voting for Best Boy. I see that they included Izumi Miyamura from Horimiya, a show that I enjoyed a lot, actually. So that was quite fun. But I don't really understand why. Like, it's one of those things, like, it feels like there isn't really much thought put into this because, like, okay, Izumi Miyamura, the main protagonist, is up for Best Boy. I mean, he's all right. Like, quiet kid, kind of strange. He's a relatable character in a way, right? It's just like he's quiet, got bullied, and and then just kind of got piercings and tattoos and whatnot, and gets a girlfriend. We've all been there, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, sure, like it's fine, nothing against that, but it's like even when I see stuff here that I'm like, that's an interesting mention. It's like, but is that the best you can do? Is that the best you can do?
Like, the thing, like, I also didn't watch much, but like the only thing that is kind of a surprise to be in the list is kind of like Skate Infinity.
Yeah,
people love Skate Infinity when
people were sort of into that. I mean, I watched it all. I thought it was goofy as hell. It's definitely
because like
definitely hot boy stuff.
86, I think like 86 has connections to Crunchyroll. So like Crunchyroll was hyping the shit out of 86.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, Odd Taxi, Megalobox, Vivi Fluoride, Wonder Egg Priority, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, ReZero, Tokyo Revengers.
That was a show I gave a lot of love to, was Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
Nice.
Like all of
they
it?
really need to fix this shit,
nice.
though.
Quite nice shit. So it's not like if I open like any, I don't know. I guess it's just a bias, my bias and other people's bias, because like it feels like it's the only shows people actually talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And like, with a delay, because like Wonder Egg Priority just got, I guess people like it. People don't like much the ending of the show. But like other things, I don't know. It's just there.
The thing they still need to fucking fix about this shit, though, is this dumbass thing they do, where it's like they nominate multiple things from the same show for the same category. That has got to stop.
Oh, like Best Boy has like 3 of them from one show kind of situation?
Does it? I didn't look.
I don't know. That was just top of my head example.
No, I'm looking at like we have 2 from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like, don't get me wrong, I understand the whole like, it's just about what is the best fight scene, but like by that logic, you can basically have an entire category with just fight scenes from one show. Is that fun? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
The only thing that is a little bit different, the fucking original voice actor for Jigen was nominated for Best Performance in Japanese.
Oh, bro, he got my vote immediately. It's like, yes,
I appreciate it, but that is definitely one of those things where it's like, it's because it's an industry veteran.
It's like,
that's
fine, we're put it here. We're going to just...
No, I'm telling you, I watched that episode, and it was very good in terms of his voice acting, very ravaged. The tone of it all, saying goodbye. Like I give it high praise. I spoke about it when I watched it, how it was a great, just goodbye episode for this voice actor.
It was, but like again, he's literally done one episode.
Well, hey, that one episode was way better than anything else. You think I'm voting Demon Slayer or anything best voice actor? I don't think so.
True, but like again, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, man. Like it's not. I wouldn't. Like, I mean, I'd vote for him myself, definitely. But like, it's not. It's one of those things where it's like, I think that is mostly just a case of like, hey, listen, man, this is an industry veteran, and he is now retired. He's old. Let's give him his dues. He's not going to win. There's no way in hell he's going to win.
No, Lupin's not popular enough in the Crunchyroll verse.
Yeah.
Maybe if the latest season was on Crunchyroll, it'd get more love. I don't know. Nah, probably not. Okay, Tori, you watched Kuroshii on Pornhub, preferably, right?
I did not watch it on Pornhub.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with you? You got to watch it on Pornhub if it's there.
I wasn't aware that it was on Pornhub before you told me.
I told you it was on Pornhub. It is definitely on Pornhub. I'm going to look at it
You
right
did
now.
tell me, but after I'd watched the episode.
Oh.
So it doesn't really help. You've,
Was it censored? Because it's not censored on Pornhub.
No, I didn't see anything censored.
Okay.
Good. What more are you gonna censor? The fucking
say.
The titties.
I don't think we're talking about the same fucking anime here.
I don't think we're talking about the same anime either.
Are we talking about Kuroshii or Shimatsu?
Oh, I was talking about Shimatsu, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I was
like, because fucking Dankworth doesn't even have tits. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Kuroshii is, that's Chateau Dankworth. My bad.
That's Chateau Dankworth. I did watch the uncensored version of Shumatsu no Harem, but I don't need to go to Pornhub for that.
Okay.
I watched the censored version.
Oh my god, you poor
it was horrible.
Yeah. Not like,
but holy shit, I'm not watching Shumatsu no Harem.
Yeah,
I got so angry.
neither.
I got so fucking angry. It's not because like the show is bad at all. And I was talking to my friend. A friend of mine, he really likes those shitty shows. He's like, no, you don't understand, dude. After some episodes, the cool dude will appear. The one that is gonna fuck everyone. It's like, dude, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't give a shit. I hate the main character. The main character is a little bitch.
What do you promise, Dickie?
Yeah,
See, you don't understand. There's a better character that'll show up and he'll fuck all the women.
It's like, I don't care. I'll have to suffer with the fucking main character. It's like, well, the main character is not anymore. But
the main character fucking sucks ass. I agree.
He's
terrible.
He fucks ass. I was like,
welcome to Harem.
You're dying. You're dying. They found a cure. The woman, she left you. And it wasn't like the moment you like it was like explaining why she left, and there's like this huge complicated plot. I was like, I don't give a shit, dude. I don't give a shit anymore. I hate that guy. He's horrible. It's like fucking humanity is dying. It's like, well, that's because they just want to use them to repopulate and have everyone being controlled by fucking women. It's like, who cares, dude? It's an anime about fucking in a harem. I don't give a shit about who's fucking pulling the strings. Motherfucker doesn't want to fuck women. That's the whole premise of the show.
Yeah,
I'm not watching it.
I totally agree. It's a bad premise with behind this character. It's terrible. Okay, tell me about. More importantly, tell me about Chateau Dankworth.
Chateau Dankworth is not worthy of the name.
Oh, this is so
Chateau Dankworth is about as deadpan a character as you will ever meet, and I hate it.
Hold on. How can they make a show with a character named Chateau Dankworth and this character is deadpan?
I know.
How is this possible?
Speaks. She doesn't talk ever. She stands there looking and oddly timed visual comedy from time to time. But I didn't look at anything. I guess
right in the title it says the silent and stoic Chateau Dankworth. Yeah.
I was tricked into watching this because of the name Chateau Dankworth.
We all
because JD didn't want to let me just pass on this one. But I didn't look at anything, and I put up the first episode, right? And 2 minutes into this, I think to myself, like, man, this sure feels like a josei romance.
Is this show on Crunchyroll by any chance?
Genres this is and what the demographic is. Let's see, genres, action, romance, yeah. Demographic, josei. Oh, would you look at that? I'm right. It's so dumb. Like, fucking bounty hunter. Her target is Son Liang-ha. Not really, because he's just hanging around, just meeting her every time, just showing up, being annoying, being like cool, and he's like, hey, I killed a bunch of people, and but I'm not your target. But that's okay. I'm gonna go and
I could definitely kill you right now if I wanted to, but I'm gonna go and grab all your targets and
torture them and give them to you. That's my thing. Woo! And I'm gonna try to get laid with you because fucking why not? And I'm flirting with you and this is so good comedy romance. Josei, yay! And oh my god, I've watched a couple of these shows before and I don't understand Josei romance. Like, at all. I don't get it. It makes no fucking sense. It's so dumb. I hate it. It's got a 7 on Mal, and that just made me even more mad. It's like, no way. Nah, bro. No way.
Yeah.
Is this show on Crunchyroll?
Is it? I don't know.
I'm asking.
Probably not. I don't watch Crunchyroll, so I wouldn't know.
Her fucking boss got itty-bitty.
License, there's none found.
Doesn't seem like it is. Is it? Maybe it's on Funimation?
Funimation, yeah.
I'll check it out.
I guess.
I'll do that. Keep talking about it. Keep burying it.
Keep burying it.
It was just really bad.
Yeah. And we're going to hear more about
it. It was
in the next
physically
episode.
painful to watch. Like, I suffered so much. I was like, holy shit, I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake. This is physically hurting me to watch. And the animation, if it stabilizes the way it is, I'm fine with it. But goddamn, there was some times where some facial features just...
It's not even animated half the time. It's just reactions and like, funny face, fucking deformed, It's like, yeah. The most you have is like fucking walking cycles. Like, sure, that's animation, but like fucking... once you make a couple frames of that you have it already. You just need to replay it. It's so...
They have such a nice site for the anime as well.
I don't give a shit about that. Like, I don't know. Like, we got this. I saw the fucking PV for the second episode, and it's just like, oh, look at this past of Chateau Dankworth, and it's like, the moment they were like, "What's your name?" and they cut her off, and I'm just like, "Yep, Chateau Dankworth is most certainly not her actual name." I've already figured out the goddamn plot twist and everything, and I don't care. I'm done. I'm done with this show. I'm not watching anymore. I told you guys before we watched it. I said I wasn't going to watch it. It's probably not going to be good. And there we are. It's a josei romance. And it is not good.
Well, hold on a second. I don't think...
All right. So, yeah, on Crunchyroll, it's called... Here we go. On Crunchyroll, it's called Love of Kill.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Although that's not the title.
I mean, when you go to my anime list, it says Crochet, and then in like parentheses, it's Love of Kill. So that's what's happening here.
Yeah, it's like Assassin's Love.
It is, but
sure.
Localized titles aren't the same. Dude, like we've all the way that localizing titles doesn't make any sense.
Localization became really good for the past years or so. I wasn't expecting a 1980s style of fucking localization where it doesn't fucking make any sense.
Dude, motherfucker, localization is literally done by having the Japanese company come up with whatever fucking random English name they can think of and telling them to use that. A Japanese company that doesn't speak any English is like, yes, this is going to be the localized title. It's like, okay.
All right. I guess it's time. Let's see if I can get a little musical drop for Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. We can move on to that. Let's see. I'll get a nice little soundtrack here from the YouTubes. What do you think? The battle music? That's pretty cool.
Sure.
You guys got anything in particular? Ooh, The Polluted Sea. I like that one. I'll play this little OST. Here we go. It'll be music for a little while here as we go into it, because the music of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is phenomenal.
Well, Nausicaa is quite good. Outstanding. So instead of watching seasonal anime, every time you feel like watching anime, just go watch Nausicaa. Have a better time.
Alrighty. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. That little musical number for it was just under a minute was from the Polluted Sea section of the movie, the film, if you will. Kaze no Tani no Nausicaa came out in March 11th, 1984, technically by Studio Topcraft. It's the precursor movie to Studio Ghibli, essentially. It's director Hayao Miyazaki. Perhaps we've heard of him, maybe?
Never.
Never? All right.
Yeah.
I heard he came out of retirement recently.
No way.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
With his cherry brand cigarettes and everything, I'm sure.
It's got all the unknown guys: Hayao Miyazaki, Isao Takahata, Joe Hisaishi, everyone that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, no. All bunch of scrubs, I'm sure.
Hideaki Anno was working here, nobody knows him.
Yeah. So I'll get a little bit of the summary here. It's a movie with just under 2 hours of runtime. 1,000 years after the giant warriors caused an apocalyptic event known as the 7 Days of Fire, humans are living now in constant fear of the toxic jungle. It's an ever-spreading forest filled with poisonous plants and gigantic, monstrous insects. Even the very air is deadly. Nausicaa, our main character, is the kind and wise princess of a small, peaceful country known as the Valley of the Wind, which has so far avoided the spread of the forest. One night, a large airship containing one of the giant warriors, forgive my words today, crashes into the valley. The following day, soldiers from the powerful nation of Tolmekia invade the Valley of the Wind to reclaim and revive the warrior. As the only one who truly believes that there is a way for humans to live alongside the insects, Nausicaa must now find a way to stop the war that now threatens her people and protect the toxic jungle before the Tolmekians burn it to the ground, or their attempt thereof. I think it's an okay summary from Anime Planet there. What I'd like to add is the whole concept of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is very Hayao Miyazaki, kind of Earth versus man situation. We've gone over this with a number of the films and TV shows that Miyazaki's been involved with, namely Conan, the TV series. What's the full title?
Future Boy Conan.
Future Boy Conan. Thank you. It was escaping me for the moment. Yeah, it's very much man versus earth, man versus nature, however you want to categorize it as. And the whole concept behind Nausicaa is living in peace and harmony. And there throughout the film, as you're watching it, it's a constant reminder of how to live with nature itself rather than fight against it. I find this theme to be just excellent. It's just a performance of excellence throughout this movie, with how just simply the character Nausicaa is portrayed and how man itself is portrayed in this movie, where immediately it's just established of war rather than peace. So I got a number of themes listed here, but I'm curious to what you guys think. Maybe certain aspects you can add before we really dive into what this film is.
Very good word creation. You don't need a lot of exposition. Everything is just laid down, and through image and sound and animation sequences, it explains pretty much everything. So there isn't much exposition, but there's so many information present to you.
It's a lot of
there's
show don't
so
tell.
much you can. Yeah, and it's great. It's amazing, and it contrasts a lot with things today where they just stop in the middle of the series and go, "Let me spend 2 episodes explaining shit to you." It's nice when good world building is inserted in such animations.
The last time I watched this movie, because I just keep track of just too much shit in my daily life, was in 2015. Was the last time I watched this, and I watched this this morning. I woke up a little early, put on the pot of coffee, and just sat down and watched this, and I was just really enthralled with the aspect of show don't tell, because watching a lot of modern anime, especially on the seasonal aspect, like you said, it's more often than not we just get 2 episodes straight of exposition trying to explain this complicated universe to us, or lack thereof of a complication, but they make it so. This has none of that.
I guess modern anime is trying to sell you something.
Yeah. I
If
understand.
they get you invested in fucking exposition, it's like, oh, by the way, download our mobile game.
Yeah. No, I
There's more of that shit there. So yeah, it changed, but still, it's not an excuse. A good world building and the show no tell is a universal sign of a good and well constructed story, and definitely get people interested no matter what. So hopefully one day we get more like this again.
Maybe, but I mean, like, I do agree with that, but also just to kind of, I think it's always nice to have like a nice mix, because one of the things that this movie does very, very well as well is like there are things that it does tell you, but it tells you in a natural way, right? Like running into the ohms, you don't get like the full spiel of what an ohm is, but you do get like sort of the short version in a way that feels natural. Same thing with like the gunships and whatnot. When they appear, they point out what it is, but not in a way that feels unnatural in normal conversation, right? It's like, what is that? Oh, that's a that appears to be a gunship coming towards us. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like a normal conversation. That's how people would talk.
It's as opposed as opposed to like they're seeing it for the first time and they need to explain it to the person next to them.
Yep.
What is that?
What is this
that is a gunship.
thing?
It is from, and then it proceeds to like tell all about its history and everything.
Well, you're just sitting there, it's like, shouldn't you run away? It's like, no, hold on,
I got to tell
I need
you,
to expose this.
in case you forgot, you character in this universe that has seen these before.
Oh, man. Most shows today goes around that by literally having the character be somebody who's never seen it before. It's like, you have to explain it because this person has literally lived under a rock their entire life. They don't know what anything is anymore. This is food. You eat it. It's good. It gives sustenance.
More than likely, it's a character from another world.
They know, even though they know it's a gunship, it sounds like they never seen it before. It's just the conclusion, like the logical conclusion of what is that huge thing floating, like flying through the sky with a bunch of guns. A gunship, I guess. Oh yeah. Which nation? It doesn't matter. It's a fucking gunship coming towards us, and we gotta help them. At least at the beginning, because for some reason, there's like larvae things eating the cockpit. That wasn't really well. That happens. It lacks exposition from time to time, which it's nothing is perfect. You gotta have a flaw in that system. So a lot of things go without explanation where it could use some explanation. The rules for using the gas mask is a little bit loose. Sometimes they will use it, other times they won't, even though it's the same kind of scenario, especially in a scene where they are below the sea of corruption, I guess that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's okay, everything is pure, and why not? It's like, the air shouldn't be.
No, like, I mean, that was essentially, it's loosely explained when Nausicaa talks about how she developed her own little garden. But like, it's basically everything under the earth. Everything is like poisonous up until a certain point down below under the earth. So they just drop down long enough. But like,
so the poison in the air is lighter than the oxygen.
Yeah, and it's the fucking trees and the fucking spores up top that is creating that. But it's like that's why it's fine down below. But obviously, it is what it is. But yeah, no, it is.
Even though sometimes like they're just flying, just take off the mask. It's like, don't take off the mask. It's like, no, it's okay. Hey, listen to this. But it's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's not bad, man.
Yeah, and this sort of thing is like as well, right? It sort of makes sense for the line they're towing, because that's probably the most important thing for me, is that they're consistent. Why don't they explain why this airship is being attacked? Well, because they don't know. They have no idea. They don't know what the fuck happened, so we don't know what the fuck happened, right? And there's a lot of that, right? Same thing. I'm a little bit annoyed that we don't really get more knowledge on the fucking giant-ass dangerous weapon that's going to fucking destroy everything, but at the same time, it makes sense, because they don't really know. They just know it's dangerous.
They just know it's dangerous and it's of legend, and that's all we know, the viewer.
And both times I've seen it now, since I've seen this two times now, I'm just like, what the fuck is that? I want to know what that is.
Yeah. There's also like the Miyazaki tropes that don't make a lot of sense. Why did they kill the king? Because the guy was in the bed. He couldn't move his legs.
Yeah, he's like coming in and be like,
it's like, well, shit. Fucking Miyazaki hates his fucking family. What do you expect?
And then the kind of like annoying peace talks as well. It's just like, I can't believe I felt such rage that could drive me to kill. And I'm like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't believe they harbor such rage with him. And I'm like, no, I can't.
And it's like, oh, I know we're gonna just go and destroy this third civilization that probably won't affect at all our enemies. It's like, yeah, that's a Miyazaki thing. It's like, why are you just dragging this country that has nothing to do just because the gunships are there? Why don't you just attack the fucking motherland while the fucking army is away? Why are you gonna attack the actual army? Yeah, I was kind of thinking they're just like Miyazaki stuff you see on Miyazaki movies a lot. Yeah, but it's not that detrimental to the show. It's just funny things that happen from time to time. Gotta talk about the bads before we just go about the goods.
Well, maybe have a long time.
Even those tropes and aspects of Miyazaki himself as a director, you mentioned in this movie, they're not as prominent as some other ones that I'm sure we'll cover a few more on this podcast in time. Because this was at the beginning of his career, with Castle of Cagliostro and Lupin and then Nausicaa, and then we got Ghibli later. His tropes were still kind of developing at this point in time. He hadn't gone through most of his ideas, because everyone like hits a wall at some point in time, or just goes back to what makes them comfortable. In this one, when just the themes alone and who Nausicaa is just really hits so many levels without really doing anything other than she's just trying to save her village that she's a part of. She's the princess of the village, and so the film starts and the introduction is focused around Nausicaa exploring the toxic
everything
jungle.
You need to know about the world,
right?
That's it.
And
everything you need to know. Everything that's gonna happen is like just the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
and
why the huge insect is so fucking huge and so strong. Well, they showed the shell.
Yeah,
and how it's impossible to break, and they use they make all the crafting out of it.
Yeah.
Things that don't fucking matter at all to the movie whatsoever at any point.
Yeah, and that's one thing.
Except you explain why the fuck you don't mess with the huge insects.
When Miyazaki does all of his movies, he, to me, is a master of these kinds of openings. And it really makes me kind of look back on some other anime that I've watched, and we just don't really get these kinds of openings anymore. It's very much different style, and I don't want to say it's old school, because we still see movies to this day come out and they establish the world, the atmosphere, and even a lot of character motivations and who they are, much like this. And I'll stick with Nausicaa as what's happening here is she's gliding through the air, being one with nature itself, as she enters the forest, and she slowly goes through the forest. There's insects around her. She's not fighting them. She's just kind of walking by them. They leave her alone, and she comes across the massive shell of the Ohm, the giant insect that ravages the earth. What happens is she can't pierce the shell, but she gets to its eye, and she uses a little bit of gunpowder. So it's like, okay, now we've established kind of the technology of this world. Like, this is where we're at in a way. And then she just sits there and looks at the spores falling down on her as she's under the Ohm's eye shell, which she establishes is very light. Kind of a different aspect of the Ohm's characteristics of what this creature is. And she just lays there as the spores fall on her like snow. And what kind of feeling do you get when snow falls? Very, very peaceful and quiet environment. And then, bang on a dime, everything changes. You hear a gunshot. So there, you got man being established now in this world, and she rushes to the top. She steps on a massive insect where the insect is like, "Oh, bro, what the fuck?" But it doesn't attack her. She apologizes. She gets to the top. She sees now an Ohm chasing a dude, and she's now wanting to save her fellow man, but not in the aspect that you as a human would think, to preserve yourself. Your instinct is to then fight back. Her instinct is to try to stop the Ohm peacefully, where she essentially flashbangs it and then tells it to go back to the forest. And the Ohm is established as this huge, massive creature that if you attack it, it'll develop this uncontrollable rage. But then, because of the way Nausicaa fights it back, she fights it back in a peaceful way, and it establishes that the Ohm can be, I guess, reasoned with in its own weird way. Not to mention all the clothes and aspects of the world during this chase, where as soon as you exit the forest, it's like desert. So they have a desert gear. They got the mask so they don't breathe in the spores, because they establish if you breathe it in 5 minutes, you'll essentially rot from the inside out because of what the toxic jungle is. And the guy watching her says like things under his breath rather than talking to her. He just goes, "What an amazing ability she has." And then
she's special.
You establish she's special and different. And finally, the last like kind of intro of the scene is he gives her a small creature, a fox squirrel, and it's in this characteristic of rage. And then when it comes across Nausicaa says, "Calm down, you're just angry," bites her, and she just looks at her, and then immediately the creature then realizes she is not a threat and then licks the wound he just gave her. It's all so good. I love this intro so much. I could watch it over and over and over again.
Would have been funnier if she would have gotten rabies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, that is... Yeah, if we're doing a comedy here, he just goes, "All right, now we gotta treat that. Make sure you're not gonna fucking die from rabies." Lockjaw situation.
That's it. Movie is 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it just cuts, and then she died from infection.
To be fair, though, let's be real here. She should have.
Aww. So
I feel so
harsh.
I mean, it's like, even that ending, it's kind of like, probably like, not going to go too much into it yet, but like, in the ending, it's just, that is one of those things that I kind of dislike about a lot of movies. It's just like, okay, so we're pulling that route. All right. Okay.
Well, I
understand why it's done, but I don't like it. I'm not that positive of a person.
Yeah.
Pessimistic Tori over here. She should have fucking died. Ah, the outrage.
She should have fucking died.
She should have fucking died.
Okay, we'll get to that.
It was impressive her body was intact.
Yeah.
I could see it going both ways.
On,
I don't mind either any situation.
Just go stand in front of a train and see if when it hits you, your body will stay in one piece.
And then a giant insect will come back and revive you.
I mean, this is a steampunk post-apocalyptic universe they're in. Everything has its own rules. Yeah.
Especially the happy ending rule.
Yeah, I want a happy ending. You evil people, you.
I mean, it kind of contradicts itself a little bit with what they've established as well. You know, the whole thing. Yeah, whatever.
I like Miyazaki happy endings. It feels like he just wrote it because someone told him to. It's not the intended. Like it happens with every single fucking show he makes has like this ending where it's like, and then they died. It's like, but like kids will watch it. It's like, they gotta learn how life works. Sometimes people die. Like, but like that's not good at all. Fine, okay, fine. The giant insect will revive her. Whatever. That happens in Totoro. Happens in Mononoke Hime. Like every single one. It's like, and then they died. Like, we talked about that. Miyazaki, come on. We talked about that. People don't want it. Fine. Take leave. Whatever. Leave me alone. I'm gonna retire.
That's the last drop. I'm retiring. Walks out the door. It's like, he'll be back. He'll be back. 10 seconds later, it's like, I have a new idea for a movie. There we go. Welcome back.
And this and that. It's like, nice, we're gonna give you the money for this. Yeah, and everyone dies at the end. Come on, Miyazaki, we just had a talk. Like every single show is like this. It has like that feeling that the happy ending is not something he would want to do. Because it's so tragic all the time. At the little ending, at the very ending, and then something happens magical. Ghibli magic, just like Disney magic. And everyone is happy. And everyone is well. Except the ones who just died in the process.
Just like Portal.
Yeah.
Just like Portal. So the prominent themes. Anti-war, environmental preservation, value of life, regardless of nationality, creature, all that. Nausicaa. So I was looking through like Wikipedia and other people's reviews and seeing what they thought some of the themes were. Wikipedia points out that there is no evil portrayed in the film. I don't agree with that. There's definitely there's definitely evil portrayed in the film, in this, especially in the sense of the invading forces, like themselves. The naivety of man.
I can understand. Like they don't see themselves as evil.
Well,
the only evil guy is the one who shot the fucking king. Wasn't bad. Like that is the only evil guy on that movie, I guess.
It's just kind of morally questionable. But like it's then again, it's I don't know. I still feel like it's one of those things. The evil is kind of established as like it's more. I don't know. Rather than evil, I guess scared or ignorant is like one of those things. Like, listen, the best way for us to make the most out of this situation is to make sure that no one else can overtake us. So we have to take them over. We have to take them out first.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. So one of the big driving motivations in this movie is indeed fear, right? The invading nation fears the forest. It fears the Ohms and their overwhelming power and numbers. They fear that man. Their fellow man will fight their ideals. So greed comes into that. There's a heavy aspect of man being naive to the power of nature. You must respect it. You can't fight what the
that just a little fire is enough.
Yeah, just a little fire. That's just fine.
It's such it's a good quote. It's like, fire is so powerful, and a lot of fire can burn down even entire forest. We learned that just a little fire is enough. It's like,
yeah,
man.
That was a good line. He's just kind of in the huddle position, going, "Little fire's fine."
Like, one of those things again, where it's like, man, this is the sort of shit that only works in movies. Because if somebody said that to you in real life, you just go, "Man, shut the fuck up."
Or you look at him, you raise an eyebrow, and you go, guy. You're that guy.
I'm just like, damn it, we're gonna need to torch the whole forest.
Yeah.
Princess won't like it. I was like, well, shit. It's okay. It'll grow. Eventually.
There's definitely this aspect over Nausicaa and her character as this benevolent being, where she is this martyr of humanity. Maybe they lean into that a little too much, but that's kind of the whole point of her.
Legend.
Just like the ancient legend. Tell me what my blind eyes can't see. She's legendary. She's golden. She is God itself of nature.
Fuck, man. What the hell why did we exit like peace and nature loving and just fucking entered like, I don't know, a cult or some shit? What happened?
I had forgotten how action-packed this movie is from the point where the invading nation comes all the way to the end. There's so little downtime, and the only downtime that there is just a transition period to set up the next just super long action scene. The amount of animation in this movie is just incredible.
One thing that I really appreciate as well is like, I love how, like, obviously Miyazaki's a big fan of planes. One thing I love is like the Tolmekians like gunships. Mm-hmm. They're fucking giant.
Oh, they're huge.
But I love
unnecessarily large.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. I love that they're unnecessarily large. But that is exactly it. They're there to establish a presence of dominance, but they're flimsy as fuck.
Yeah, they go down super easily.
So easily. It's like it's one of those things, because it's kind of cool, because it fits into the whole Tolmekian thing, where it's like they are playing at being like big, all powerful fucking people who are coming to save the world or whatever the fuck they're doing by destroying the poisonous forest. But like, they show that by fucking having these giant airships that are fucking taking up a lot of space, and they're really domineering and oppressive, but fucking one bullet and they're down. They can't handle it. They're flimsy as fuck. The small gunships are better because they are at least harder to hit.
Yeah, the Brigitte gunships.
I dig that. I really
like that's true. Especially like the Lord Yupa, the fight scenes.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
I love how everybody just ditches the gun when he comes. It's like, okay, fuck it, we're fighting this man.
Well, he's fucking Lord Yupa. You can't mess with him. He's got 2 swords, bitch.
I know, but like, everybody has guns, and he just shows up, and it's like everybody throws their gun away and pulls out the sword. It's like, all right, close quarters combat it is. Someone just shoot the man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Who would win in a fight, Lord Yupa or let's throw Tanjiro out from Demon Slayer?
Lord Yupa would just wreck his ass. Have you seen that man's beard?
He'd slit his throat before he'd be able to like power up or breathe or any shit. Right? He would, right?
Yeah.
Lord Yupa don't fuck around.
They established the fucking tools and swords are made of the extremely hard and extremely sharp if done properly, Shell. And he stopped the thing with his arm. Like, that guy has fucking steel muscles.
Dude's a beast. Love Lord Yupa. Hit that moment where he lands on the airship and he's got the swords in his arms in that cross position. He's got the long one and the short one. And all those dudes on the plane just go, "Oh, fuck." That's Lord Yupa. Get him! Everyone's swarming.
You're a hero if you can defeat him. Get him! I also love that he fucking just fights one, fucking disarms one, pushes him against the wall with a fucking knife against his throat, and he's like, just turns to him, he's like, "I suggest you fall back." It's just like, yeah, okay. It's like, oh man,
you got it, Yupa.
Man's being a badass here. He's not even going to kill him. He just tells him to fall back.
That's so great. I love Yupa. What's our opinion over the other princess, the leader of the Tolmekians? Because she's an interesting character to kind of break down.
I guess. Like, if an insect ate my arm, I would be really pissed. I'm gonna lie.
Arm and legs, and whoever's lucky enough to be her husband will get to see way worse.
Oh, is that where we're going here?
I mean, that is a line. I thought that was fucking funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know.
I forgot about that line.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's weird. It's kind of weird. Like she is quite definitely driven by fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite obvious. But I don't know. I don't find her that interesting. Apart from that, it's kind of like interesting. She's been through some shit. And she's fucking out for revenge and acting based on fear and just trying to take matters into her own hands and shit like that. And doesn't really trust anyone, not even her own country. It's like, do they know? No, don't let them know. It's like, all right, cool.
No.
Like, fucking, all right, cool. And at the end of the day, I mean, I guess you can say she technically saved everyone by waking up the giant beast too early, the dangerous weapon. So, I mean, you know, in that sense, it kind of worked out. But
and I mean, they gave us some. They gave some. Yeah, she gave us a nice animation with a rotten giant. That's for sure. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's nothing much. She's just doing her best, I guess. And I think I can appreciate that. We just like, oh yeah, the Mechans, they try to establish power and position and power and everything else. And she's definitely the best at that. With the armor and the missing arm. So yeah, I would say she's a very good character. She can do something that no other character in this movie can.
Well, to me, she's the antithesis to everything Nausicaa is. They both grew up in essentially a male-dominated world because humanity has reverted back to, you know, strength and power, man over woman kind of situation. And I mean, I thought the movie does a good job mostly establishing how she had to act out of cruelty, out of self-preservation because her own brothers wanted to kill her to take the throne. So she basically had to become a man herself, dons the armor, and she never takes it off. Like everything to hide the fact that she's a woman. And she has just vindictive personality to her, where it's all about preservation of man in her mind. So yeah, it's not inherently evil, but because we have the Nausicaa character that is the complete opposite, where everything is through peace. She's super interesting to me in that aspect because of the other characters in the movie.
Yeah, again, it's something that only her can do.
Right.
So it's definitely interesting in that regard. Because then, you know, the other faction is Oswell, the boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't do much aside having internal conflicts about what he should do. Which is
she showed me the thing
as well.
She showed me the forest underneath the quicksand. Come on, you don't understand. There's air there. You can breathe.
Look, when I look at her, my heart goes doki doki, dude.
That's like PP goes doki doki.
My PP goes doki doki, dude. She's cute. Okay, I'm gonna betray my country now.
Well, come on.
Yeah, and then
Nausicaa is a beautiful, beautiful woman. Like
that's true.
She is very much portrayed as the most beautiful creature in the universe.
Oh yeah, man, the shit,
you know I'm right.
There's those motherfuckers destroyed our country, but we are alive, and how are we gonna destroy the Valley of the Wind?
JD, why did you have to say they very much portray her that's the most beautiful thing in the world? Now I'm just picturing that scene where the fucking girl is taking her place to help Nausicaa escape. And fucking Nausicaa just turned around, are you sure she will be okay? And now I can fucking only picture that like a mean spirit away. It's like, are you sure she's good looking enough to take my place?
That would be such a good, and that would break the character. I know that would break the character without repair, but holy shit, that would be such a good line.
But she's so ugly. Doesn't fit her at all. Come on.
The soldiers will immediately see right through this. What are we doing?
Nausicaa is the best human being to ever exist, but she still is a little bit narcissistic about it, since she's a princess. So from time to time, she just strike with that shit.
We're inadvertently coming up with the greatest overtone.
Well, yeah, I guess it's not so much that it's just modern tropes. Like we grew watching it. So when we see this old show, like, all right, what about if she does this and this and that, which is a normal modern trope to anime nowadays.
Not even just a modern trope. I'm just sitting here, it's like, we're slowly coming up with the best fucking parody of this show or movie. So that's going to be our next stretch goal, guys. One day we're going to make the parody of Nausicaa.
Parody of Nausicaa. With big tits and no censoring.
I don't think that's a parody, but okay.
Hey, it counts as a parody.
Yes, it does. Anything counts as a parody today.
Yeah. Gonna release on fucking
parody.
Okay, so skipping to kind of the ending scene here, the ending battle, if you will, where the Telmekians have captured a baby Ohm. They've freaking speared this thing and are carrying it, leading just thousands upon thousands of these giant Ohms in a rage to the Acid Lake area, which is an interesting just kind of region of the world that they're in. And I mean, obviously the major flaw of this plan is, well, there's hundreds of thousands of these suckers. They're massive, and you have one rotted apocalyptic soldier from the past that's... What, it fired 2 shots before it melted because they released it too early?
Yeah, but isn't it the Bajeets that's taking it? Because they're trying to stop the revival of the... they're trying to stop the revival of the...
The Tomekians is like, shit, fuck. We gotta do something.
Well, I mean, it's still Kushana in charge of it all. Like, it's listening to her. Right?
The giant is the baby, no.
The giant, yes, but the baby,
they lost the baby.
No. Yeah. I'm not talking about the baby. I'm talking about just the final stand of trying to. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's where she pretty much inadvertently saves everything, because I mean, like, she awakens the giant, the fucking weapon too early, and it melts away. So. Yay, she saved everyone.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah, it's an oops moment.
I love how everybody's like, no, you can't do it, it's too early. It's like, what if not now, then when? And I'm just like, fair point. However, I don't think that's how this works. And it sure as hell wasn't.
No.
And now I'm sitting here looking at this awesome melting animation of this thing, and the only thing that's running through my mind is like, okay, but like, can somebody please explain to me what the fuck this thing is? Because like, Jesus Christ, I want to know. It looks so interesting. What is it? Right, it's half melted, but like, jeez, what is this cannon in his mouth? Is it living, or is it fucking? What is this?
Yeah,
it's a giant question. Weapon. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a straight up bio weapon. It's pretty awesome.
Seems like it.
Yeah. So my biggest question was, what did she think was going to happen when she revived it early, and then why is the baby Ohm not in a rage itself, or at least in a state of panic while it's being trucked through the air with spears in its body?
Well, I mean, it is after it gets released. That's why it kind of, pushes Nausicaa into the fucking into the sea of acid. Which, once again, for fuck's sake,
well, I mean, that scene
standing in acid.
Yeah, but that scene alone, like, she collapses, then the Ohm heals her leg. Like, it establishes the healing power of the Ohm. And one thing we did skip over, which is kind of important leading to the end,
a lot of things we skipped over.
Yeah, there's a lot. We can talk about this movie for hours, truthfully. But when there's the airship battle and they crash into a lake in the toxic forest area, and there's Kushana, a number of villagers that were voluntarily taken hostage, as their words. Yeah. This is kind of funny. They're in an Ohm nest, and there's like, let's say 6 of them, 6 of these giant suckers, and Nausicaa's like, do not fight these things, do not fire your gun, and one of the giant Ohms has its little tentacles in the front, and it engulfs her in this like healing light, and it kind of sends her into a purgatory state of kind of zen-like being, which is kind of cool. And so these two scenes put together are very important to how the final scene ends up, where Nausicaa she clearly has some sort of peaceful connection to the Ohm, and how they... What? Okay. Question.
She saved one.
Excuse me?
She saved one.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, everybody's just like, give it to me. She's like, no, go back inside the tree and hide. And I don't know.
It's just a baby. I'm not doing anything.
This is one of those shortcomings for me, where it's like I feel like that needed a little bit more, because like it doesn't really do much. It's like she's friends with the thing and she wants to live in harmony with it. Yeah, we know that already. That's already been established.
Well, okay. Like, my question is to you guys: what is the actual role of the Ohm? Who are the Ohm? What are they exactly? What is their purpose in this toxic world and healing Earth that they're establishing?
Just like Twitter.
They are...
What's like Twitter?
A plot point.
They are plot point, yeah. You said and what are their role in this toxic world? And I was just like Twitter.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, continue.
No, you got me with that.
Their plot points, like
really
the Ohms don't observe any ruling.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
They stampede their rage.
They are. They have they have mystical powers. Dude. Just there. It's like, they have a fucking mental connection to the tentacle. That's okay. Oh, they established Nausicaa is a good person because she doesn't have rage inside of her, because they read her mind, I guess, with the fucking tentacles. That's okay. Oh, the tentacles can heal. Oh, well, that's fine as well. Oh, they can revive people. Well, okay, that's fine. Cool.
Amazing. So
nice.
Humanity's not going to go extinct. Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. Like, I mean, was it like
Miyazaki looking at the spreadsheet? What do I need in this movie to fix this? Revival. Okay.
Oh, fuck. No, but like, it's one thing for like, what is it that Obama calls them? Like the fucking they like act on nature's rage or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking remember. They're like the protectors of the forest, but simultaneously they act on nature's rage or whatever the fuck. It's like, yeah, it's a point there. They are there to be the obstacle when needed. They are there to show that, nature's all right. If you don't provoke them, they won't do anything to you, which is absolute bullshit. Fucking. That isn't true at all to how nature works, but all right. And yeah. Nah, generally just there's
more of a deep conversation and analysis of what this giant cockroach is.
They are a couple of unsavory tentacle movements away from being very dangerous.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, to me, and I thought about this a lot, was the Ohm's characteristics have a lot of representations that you can interpret from the tentacles to the shell, how their eyes are changing from blue to red. It's very obvious what those are, but and even like the spear-like feet in its front that drive. It's so the tentacles represent, to me, it's more peaceful nature, while the spear-like feet are what represents kind of danger with the Ohms more than anything. The aspect of the Ohms I find the most interesting is my interpretation, more or less, is they are the middle connection between nature and man. Like where man went wrong in being with nature, in come the Ohm, where now they are nature's protector, and anytime man screws up again, that's when the Ohm show up to with their immense size, power, and numbers, much like how an invading man force would become. I mean, that's just in man's nature, so to say. There's a scene where you can clearly see man on one end, the Ohm in the middle, and then nature behind them, the forest. And when Nausicaa has her moments with the Ohm, there's always that space in between where it's essentially man or humanity communicating with the I guess gatekeeper, you could kind of say. And it's almost like it's their approval or disapproval in what you're currently doing. And when you get to that final scene of Nausicaa essentially sacrificing herself, saving such a creature, and them in turn saving her, it really brings home to me the fact that clearly the Ohm are these misunderstood creatures. And it's so much built on fear because of many aspects of their characteristics, rather than what Nausicaa keeps going through with them is their blue eyes. They're something that was established at the beginning with its eye being so light and important and a peaceful nature to her, and the Ohm's tentacles in essentially building this golden garden of peace and tranquility around her. And then when she is saved and she's kind of floating on the tentacles and dancing in essentially like a golden cornfield or what have you, I guess Cat o' Nine Tails.
Fulfilling the prophecy.
The goofy fulfilling the prophecy lines aside, where this is where the Ohm's nature and humanity all kind of wrap into one existence, and it creates this just seemingly beautiful landscape that we can all agree with kind of situation as you're watching it. It's like that is beauty in itself. It's the Ohms, the golden aspect of what the color represents, and Nausicaa herself and her characteristics that's around her. It's, to me, it all kind of comes together nicely in that moment, in how I keep interpreting each and every aspect of the characteristics of Ohm's humanity and nature in this movie.
That was way too deep.
Well, I went into a lot of thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Protectors of the forest.
Yeah. Giant insects who can revive people if they want to.
I don't even see that. Like Hickey, you said they're giant cockroaches. I don't even see them that way. To me, they're more like.
That was a joke.
I know, but like even so, but your mind went to cockroach as the joke. I see them kind of as the cicadas, if you will. They even look a lot like cicadas. And what do cicadas do? They crop up out of nature every 3 decades, just about, and they shed their shells and then go back into the earth until they're able to revive again. And that's seemingly what.
What? No. What? No.
What?
Hold on. I think you missed some biology class shit.
I'm not saying they actually come back to life.
Cicadas. Cicadas. They stay underground, buried, and then they come out. They go through the last stage of metamorphosis. They shed their shells from time to time to keep growing. Then they sing, they fuck, they lay eggs, and they die.
Yes, I'm well aware of that, Hickey. I'm more talking about
It's more like, they sing a little bit, and they go and bury themselves again. It's like, hold on a second. And
but you see, you said, they sing, they fuck it. I get it. But even in the movie, each time the tentacles keep embracing Nausicaa and everything. There's this singing aspect of them. Yeah, come on.
Oh yeah, and they fuck. Yes.
Please no. The precursor to tentacle.
Not really. I guess I go to cockroaches because everyone keeps trying to kill cockroaches. They're just there. They don't do harm to anyone.
So what you're saying is we need...
And everyone just acts out of fear. Everyone acts of fear. Is like, what if the fucking thing flies on me? It's like, yeah, well, you just take it off you.
So we need the most dangerous weapon humanity has ever seen to eradicate cockroaches.
Bygone, yes.
Yeah, that's how they see it. But anytime we see a cicada, we're like, oh, look at them.
Oh, look at them. They never fucking shut up during summer. Holy shit.
I just want to sleep.
Oh, great. Their shitty shells are just everywhere now. Ah.
It's just the same as the Ohm.
Bro.
God, I remember in elementary school, there were times when we'd go to all the trees around the school, and they'd give us all brown paper bags and pick all the shells off the trees. It was like a little game they'd have us play.
Joke's on you. They were making you clean up.
Well, yeah.
The trees?
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of cicada shells?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting culture. Like, why would you go? Yeah, let's just clean the forest out of the natural shit there's there. Like, oh, nice.
Well, there's no forest the forest is not in my elementary school, Hickey.
Oh, my elementary school had a forest.
Oh, interesting culture you got there in Brazil.
Yeah. Same.
It was a city park that was preserved forest.
Yeah,
so,
nothing
sometimes
really
we just go there, but they now say, yeah, let's just get this, just go get some plants. Yeah.
Nah, my elementary school is like walking distance to a major highway.
No, same.
Well, there's no forest.
It's the most important fucking avenue of my city, but hey, we like preserving forests, I guess.
I mean, I guess same here as well. But
anyway,
what do you mean by
we're going places. Let's go back to Nausicaa.
Nah, we're done with Nausicaa now.
Oh, we're done with Nausicaa? Okay.
She gets revived. Like that one.
She does get revived.
Yeah, she tries to stop the Ohm. And she's like, I laughed a lot, by the way. Not gonna lie. That was the best part of the movie. I just started laughing so much I cried.
Over, which is pretty
because
sick.
She goes with the little child Ohm, and it's put in front of the horde. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they're gonna stop the stampede, and everything will be fine. It's okay. And then both of them just got rammed over. I was like, geez, they didn't even stop for the fucking child. They were upset about.
Shit. But Tiki, they were blind with rage. No, I love that. That's so fucking hilarious.
I started laughing so much, and then when I realized she fucking died, I started laughing even harder.
What if?
Dumb porn.
What if she was turned into a fucking puddle of blood? Yes, that would have been
movie over. Humanity dies. That would have been a crazy ending. What if the alternate ending?
Humanity should have died. I'm just saying. She got fucking yeeted, man.
Yeah, she got thrown over the Ohms, and the Ohms are fucking absolutely massive units, like what, 10 stores buildings or shit.
Let it in, but got stepped on repeatedly. Like fucking, there shouldn't be anything left.
Yeah.
She should have returned to the earth, as we all do. See, there's your nature tie-in.
All right, so what if you suspend your disbelief and the body's fine? And what if the alternate ending was she does indeed die? You still get the tentacle scene, and instead of her dancing on, it's her corpse being floated along the golden tentacles, and that's when you get all your goofy little lines. What if that's the ending? She still dies, but you still get kind of everything about that ending.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it would be honestly would be better. Not gonna lie, I thought that what was gonna happen. And then she woke up. I was like, "Oh, no, okay. I guess she woke up now."
Yeah, the giant cockroach got crazy healing powers, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
She is a cockroach, just like them. Nothing can kill her.
Right.
She's more in tune with nature and the Ohms than one thinks. She is an actual cockroach. Infecting people with her positivity and peace. It's disgusting.
Thing is just kind of like it kind of defeats the point, Brad, because like I don't think she needs to survive to have that ending, because I mean the giant weapon dies, melts, it's fine. They eventually calm down. Yeah, they calm down. It's like yeah, sure, they fucking gather around her body, like everybody's just poking her, waiting to see. It's like, are you gonna do something? But like, it's one of those things. Like, I feel like you can still have that same ending, where it's like, yeah, sure, it will be more like ultimate sacrifice type deal, but you'd still kind of get that it's like, yeah, you have to pay the price for everything that's happened, instead of like being like, and then for whatever reason she got revived, everything is fine now. That whole thing that we said about the forest expanding, we don't give a shit about that anymore. Fucking the world is dying, nobody cares, and yeah, bye. It's like, okay, cool, amazing ending. That's my biggest complaint about this movie in general. It's just the ending. I feel like it got a bit Disney there at the end, a bit too Disney for my liking.
I wouldn't have minded the alternate ending I laid out, but I still didn't. I like the happy ending after all this despair throughout the movie. Like, yeah, it make me smile. That's fine. I'm okay with a little Disney in my life. Not everything needs to be. Although, I won't even say. It's okay. I think I've said I've said my piece over the movie.
It's not so much the revival. It's just everything. the sequence. It's way too absurd. Like, she getting rammed over. She flew up like 5 storages in the air. She hit the ground really fucking hard. She got stepped on by a bunch of giant ass cockroaches. Her body was intact. There's not a lot of like time dilatation or I'm gonna say time cues to understand or perceive how much time it passed since she was rammed over to the arms coming down. But apparently it was a lot of time because they had to stop. They had to every single arm look at where she was. So probably at least 30 minutes for every of those things happening.
Breaking that down.
So she's being dead for 30 minutes. And the arms are like, the arms probably fought for like more 10 minutes, like, shit, we fucked up. It's okay, let's just use our trump cards.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, and then the revival, and then the prophecy thing on top of that. So it's the whole sequence. If it was only the revival, that's okay. Like, if they pick the fucking pieces and just reconstruct her, I guess it would be more acceptable than
you see all of her dismembered body parts and everything, and they're all they're all connecting it back together.
Beauty, yeah. Or like the fucking little child fuses with her or some shit. Whatever the fuck. Gives like a arm, or all the arms kind of give their life force. Usually you still have like the equal exchange, so they sacrifice their lives to save her some shit. That would be fine as well. She's like kind of meh.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a Sleeping Beauty kind of thing.
Even if I'm going to suspend my disbelief enough to say that even when she fell down between the no one stepped on her, which no, that didn't happen. But okay, let's just pretend that like still. It all fucking like
just the force of the fucking pack.
Yeah. She revived. She's been dead for a while. You know what? At least give her some fucking brain damage. She's been dead for a while, all right? No, she should have some brain damage. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh, but maybe the arm can fucking cure as well.
It probably can, but like that's kind of my biggest problem. It's just the fucking like, hey, we have healing power because nature. And I'm just like, no. No, you don't. Go back underground.
All right.
And then also the ending with a tree like growing on the bottom of the sea of like the sea of decay. I was like, well, that's useless. What that she's gonna do? It's gonna grow up, go through the fucking sea of decay floor and die out of the poison. That's cool. Yeah, it's just all those things. It was a little bit of a weird ending, but you know what? It's fine. You can poke fun at it. It's not the type of ending that will just absolutely destroy the entertaining the movie provides, and you can poke a lot of fun at it, like we're doing right now. So that's a okay on my book.
So my final thoughts over Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is it remains one of my most favorite anime movies of all time. It's up there as one of my highest regarded, even from an just a directorial critical perspective, one of the greatest works I've seen. I have nothing but really a lot of good things to say about it, as you've heard on this podcast. It should be no shock. I give this a masterpiece, 10 out of 10 type score on Mal, my anime list. I don't find many flaws with it, like, at all. It's as near perfect as I've ever seen. Who's next?
Miyazaki's proud of you.
Yeah.
Is he though?
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
not.
he's he calls me up almost monthly. Just like, God damn it, what a great review you had.
Yeah.
Dude, you should fucking send him over to his son every once in a while. Jesus.
Yeah, he talks more to you than his own son, I guess.
Look, fact, yeah. I ask about him all the time. I was like, so what's your son up to? He's like, I don't talk to that guy.
What's your son up to? I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Do you call
What a failed
Miyazaki
director he
Jr.
is.
just to flex on him?
He only leaves me with disappointment. I hear he lives in Nagoya these days or something. I don't know.
What is he up to? I don't know. Doesn't he literally work at your company? Like, what the fuck? Oh man. Yeah,
Just
I don't
send
know.
him pictures of you hanging out with Miyazaki. Fight around.
That's what Hideaki Anno does. But nah, like, I don't know. I enjoyed Nausicaa. It's a good movie. It's definitely a well-crafted movie. Like I've talked before when we've talked about the Ghibli movies. I know this isn't technically Ghibli, but you know, Miyazaki, Takahata.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
the,
it's the crew.
Ghibli crowd. Yeah, it's the Ghibli crew. It's just says called craft
Ghibli
for some
gang.
reason. Yeah. Right. So back in the day when Miyazaki was not a jaded old man, but a young jaded old man. And yeah, like there are parts of it that I don't really appreciate that much. I'm not the nature loving guy. I mean, kind of, but not like this. Also, rewatching it, I'm a little bit annoyed because I'm so fucking sick and tired of my own Green Party right now. They're being a little bit annoying. So all the fucking like, nature is awesome. And I'm just there like, oh my God, not this again.
We need to fight. We need to save the cockroaches. It's like, God damn.
Fucking shut the fuck up. I'm so sick and tired of this. So yeah, no, it's but it's definitely a good movie. I enjoy myself. I poke fun at stuff here and there. It's got some good visual storytelling. It says a lot without having to say something, and the things that it does say in a reasonable way that is passed through actual conversation rather than, you know, somebody tapping the main character or whatever on the shoulder and being like, "Here, let me explain this to you because you are fucking 1 IQ and you don't understand." So, you know, I appreciate those things. It's fun. It's not one of my favorite movies though, and I give it a 7. It's good. I wouldn't give it much.
Clearly, you hated it.
Yeah,
It's such a low score.
Dude, man, it's Miyazaki, man. I don't like Miyazaki. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
I hate
fair
nature.
point.
7 out of 10.
I hate nature.
And the humans involved with it.
7 out of 10. Too much nature.
The plot points are a little bit too obvious, but it's well crafted. The music's really good. The mixing is really good. The voice acting is very fair. Depending on the character. Depending on the character is fairly good. Animation, quite stellar. There's nothing really wrong with it. The designs are fine, although they bounce a lot between extremely refined and extremely simple. So sometimes the same country, I guess, because I have 30 countries. The same country will have different types of technology with different design concepts, and that kind of bothers me. So you have like the evil ones with the invading force with the huge ass, very technological looking that show from the Brazilian Empire invading people, gunships, and they have like muskets, and they look like just old muskets. And those kind of things kind of bother me. Inconsistency in designs, but that's nothing very major. The ending is a thing of its own. Doesn't look like the intended ending. I feel like someone forced me as like to make a happy story when he wasn't feeling it. But it is okay. There's a lot of just useless characters and useless characters' motivations that don't come into fruition at all. Like the Shana's helper, the soldier guy. And it's like, man, it's finally my time to shine. He never had his time to shine. I was like, okay, that was okay. I guess I sucks to be you. Princess is alive. Fuck my plan now. Kind of left in the air.
And gave up on world domination like that. He's like, all right, it's my time to take over. Princess returns. All right, I'm done.
All right, sorry, never mind. Just guarding the fort when you're out, princess. And it's like those kind of things are gonna happen, and you have like the male character conflict with Asbel, which Miyazaki also likes, but I don't. Like, my country. What is random girl? Oh no. This reminds me a lot of Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
And those kind of little things, the dumb things like, yeah, we're gonna destroy the Valley of the Wind because someone pissed us off. It's like, why don't you just attack the actual country and not this random country? Anyway, those kind of things. So I'll give it an 8. It's nothing that will take away the fun of watching Nausicaa, but it's definitely there and it's definitely noticeable. It's something that you cannot ignore.
All right, so I think that's like an 8.5, 9 type score between the three of us. Skewed a little bit by Tori's absolute hate. Clearly, he
absolute hate. Yep.
Absolute hate.
I gave it a 7.
Exactly.
I gave it a 7 because I fucking hate this movie. God.
Yeah, your words, exact words. I'm only gonna clip that one part.
You can quote me on that.
Our next venture into retro anime world is it's Tori's pick this time, as we each trade off what anime we're going to cover for each episode. Tori, do you remember the title of said anime we're covering next?
I do indeed. Well, I'm looking at it right now. It's The Beast Claw, at least in English.
Mm-hmm. What is The Beast Claw?
The Beast Claw, Kemono Sume. It is a 13-episode TV series from the 2000s, from 2006, actually.
Wow.
By Madhouse, and it's by Masaki Yuasa. So I'm looking forward to this. We've got a lot of my favorite people are actually. Masaki Yuasa directed it. Episode director and assistant director Sayo Yamamoto and Kenji Nakamura did an episode as well. Man, all of my favorite people are here. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh my God, he's looking forward for something.
I know. It's incredible. Never happens.
Never happens.
2006 Madhouse as well. Could be good. Could be shit. Could be good.
2006 was a very strong year in anime. You could... Yeah,
and Madhouse was very strong.
Madhouse was very strong before, You
go through a lot of anime from, I guess, 2000 to 2007. A good chance Madhouse was involved with it. Yeah, they did a lot. Okay, well, that will be in the next episode. This was episode 117, Red Leaf Retrocast Anime. Leave us a nice little review on iTunes and all your favorite podcasts and outlets. See you next time.
Peace.
Goodbye. Bye.